Namaste and welcome. And we always start with the new year saying, the divine
in me sees the divine in you.
The divine in you sees the divine in me. And that way we always center back to nobody's better, nobody's worse. At one point we all meet. We're all divine, one point. But when the mind's crazy, that's when it all falls apart. So everybody's divine, but some minds are really crazy and some minds are really peaceful. Some minds are really positive and some minds are really negative. So the whole work of yoga is yogas chitta vritti nirodha tada drastue swarupe vastanam, which means the restraint of the modifications of the mind stuff is yoga, and then the seer abides in its own true nature. So the whole science is, okay, you got this crazy mind. First thing you do, what do you have to do? Recognize it. You won't recognize it if you don't know you're divine. Because your ego, the personal ego, will want to say, oh, I'm not like that. The person is like that. I'm not like this. Everybody's wrong. And that's the key words that you need to look for. We're talking about new beginnings, right, today? New beginnings. Key words to look for. Because every new year, people make new resolutions. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Forget about the resolutions. Put too much pressure on yourselves. Don't do that. My only resolution is to watch my mind, where my weaknesses are, and how I can watch my thinking, because nobody can save me except myself. Yes! Can you all do that? Please. Nobody can save me except myself. Again, louder. And yes.
Save me except myself.
Thank you. You know, all the masters tell us, look for the kingdom of heaven within. Look for the kingdom of heaven within. And then we hear, oh, this is going on, and the world is becoming like this. Oh, we're going to die, and all this fourth and fifth and sixth dimension. And somebody sent me a lovely email this morning. I was so grateful, because, you know, she said to me, oh, everybody's talking about the age of Aquarius coming, and fifth dimension, and Nalanie, I just find it so much. And I go, you got it right, it's way too much. Because I said, as far as I remember as a dancer in the 60s, I used to dance to, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius. Didn't we? You see? Oh, I did it, yes. Do you remember Anju, the dance I used to teach you? So, yeah, so she used to dance for me. She was a little girl then, a little girl. And so, yeah, so we've been talking about this. 2012, end of the world, Nalanie, everything is going to fall apart. No, my world's not going to fall apart. Do you know what I'm saying? People are always predicting so much stuff. I want you to understand there's a lot going out there about fourth and fifth dimensions. At the moment, it seems to be the latest thing, okay? The fourth and fifth dimension are inside of us. When we touch the divine, when we touch our peace, we experience this bliss. And how do you know you're getting close? Because you get gifts on the way. You know, you get gifts on the way. You start to feel so much lighter in your life. If you're not feeling light in your life, know the work is basic. We need to start with the basic. Don't get so complicated with spirituality. Make it simple. What is the basic? Okay, look at what I'm doing. Am I complaining all day long and hoping somebody's going to change my world for me? Start that thought. I'm really sorry to say nobody can change your world for you, but you can change it. As you think,
You become.
So don't base your thoughts on past negative. Because the more you place your thoughts on the past, But this happened, it's going to happen again. Oh, this happened, it's going to happen again. As you think,
it becomes.
got to have that faith, that strength, that willpower. That willpower, it takes willpower to change the thought. It's not so easy. You know, I was speaking to Johan earlier. All these people, and they tell you 1 weekend you can change your mind stuff. I mean, it's just lying. I'm sorry. And then people get so disturbed because they come to me and I'm not good enough, Nalanie, because I can't change my mind in a week or 2 weeks. No, you can't. It's impossible. But you can do the practice now. And if you do the practice now, your mind will be changed. And maybe a week. I don't know. Everybody's different. If you've been meditating for a long time, then you've got the grounding. So you really make that willpower. I'm done with this. I am happy. I am joyful. I deserve to be. Life is too short. I'm not going to be a victim. I'm not. I wasn't born to be that. Were you? No. And when you can get through that and forgive, you go to another dimension. However, I'd like to explain something. Once that trauma's hit you here, sometimes it returns. Okay? It comes back. You think you've got over it, you think you've forgiven it, you think you've done it, and it, boom, and it hits you like a shock wave. This is the time. This is the time you must remember to look after you. Go to people who uplift you. That's why I love Sangha. You push each other up, not down, push each other up. And also this is the time when you must, because meditation doesn't work at these times because your mind can't do it. But a prayer, a personal prayer. Pray. This is what prayer is. Look, prayers are invisible but make impossible things possible. If you have complete faith, nothing is impossible. So this is where the prayer comes in. Because prayer is, you think, I can't do it for myself, right? That's what most people think. I can't do it for myself. I'm not strong enough. Fine, pray. Pray. Because what does prayer do? A prayer is, help me. Help me to achieve this. Help me to achieve these things. Help me to get over myself. Help me to get through this suffering. And, really, I love Lord Jesus for leaving this statement to us in the New Testament. Ask and you shall
receive.
Knock and you shall door will be open. Seek and you shall find. I did it in the wrong way. My mind's going too fast. I have to slow it down. Slow down. So, yes, this is what happens. This is what... And this is what they're saying today with positive thinking, right? You attract what you ask for. So if you are feeling you're not getting all the time, you will not get all the time. So ask, may my life be full of joy. May my thoughts, please listen to my words. Listen to your words. Listen to when you talk. Okay, that's what I did with myself when I first started. Many years ago, at the age of 35, I listened to my words. Because as your thoughts, so your words. As your words, so your deeds. So your deeds becomes your character. Your character creates your destiny. It all starts from thought. Thought's a bit difficult. Watch your words. Much easier. So I watched my words. Was I overcritical? Was I always in guilt? Was I always blaming? Was I always complaining? Watch my words. Because sometimes you could say, oh, I'm really okay. But my words, when I said some other things to people that were close to me, I wasn't okay. Because I could hear my words. Like, in the old days to my husband, I could hear my words. They were not nice. And I was blaming him, but it was my words. So, change your words. So I went backwards, change my words. But I have to say the truth. Yes, but you were saying it with anger. How do you need to say it? I need to deal with this, right? I need to deal with this. It's a hard stuff. It's all in here. So fill your heart with love. Think of all the good things. Think of all the good things. Think of all the good things. Remind yourself of all the good things. Just focus. Remember the Bhagavad Gita, which we took a year to study, and it's done, thank God. And it's like in the battle, there are 100 brothers on the bad side and only 5 on the good side, right? It's all an analogy. It's our mind. People can do 100 good things for you. They do one bad thing, crucify you. They crucify you. Suddenly, from all the good things you've done, they've forgotten. You know, I always use Lord Jesus as the example. 1 week, Hosanna in the highest. Crown him. Next week, crucify him. Same crowd. Same crowd. So what will they do to us? So work on yourself. Work on that self. All the greatest masters have said, the kingdom of heaven is within. And we keep looking outside. Learn what you can from the outside world. Because there's so much to learn. There's so much to grow. There's so much inspiration. There's so many wonderful people. Be in that company. And you have to be very strong and have discriminative discernment when somebody is so negative to be able to walk away, because your energy will be drained. So these are the things you have to watch in order to have a new beginning. And then your beginning changes. And then this is where they talk about epigenetics. You can change your genetics. Why? Because you're changing your thoughts. You're changing your thoughts, not just for one day. And this is where the lies come in. Oh, practice for a little while. And you meditate for 10 days, you're fine. You'll be elevated. Oh, I got one experience of bliss. I don't need to work anymore on myself. Big mistake. If you don't keep your phone battery charged, it won't work. If we don't keep our spiritual battery charged, no matter 100 words you say, it's not going to work. You have to charge it. You have to charge it. Love is the greatest tool of all. But unconditional love is very hard in this world, because most of us have suffered trauma through relationships, people who have hurt us, people have caused us pain. So it's hard for the individual soul or ego to accept that. Really, you can say, I forgive, but to really accept that that pain was for our benefit. Was for our benefit. Only when we accepting pain for purification, Sri Patanjali, can really accept this pain is for my benefit, everything change. Because it's kind of like, I was saying to you this morning, right? It's like this matrix. And it's all in numbers. I used to, as a child, see God. I believe we're created in numbers. That's why Shanti does numerology. I don't. But as a child, I used to think I was made up of numbers. And if you talk about Fibonacci codes, and everything in the earth is measured by 1/6. It's really interesting. The plants, the leaves. I saw a documentary on it. Oh my God. It's so incredible, nature. And then Nicholas Tesla, he was very in tune with the frequencies and the sounds, and he used to say that we are frequency, sound, and energy. We are frequency, sound, and energy. And that's how we connect with the divine. When the frequency is high, is when we are in that energy of focusing on how we can, he focused on electricity, light, etc., and numbers. And apparently he said there was magic in the numbers 3, 6, 9. And apparently that every time he entered his home, to protect it, he used to make 3 circles from the house before he entered his home for the blessing of the divine. And and 9, and in our Indian scriptures we say, in 18, and he also mentions 18, which is 1 and 8 is 9, right? He said 18 is sign of victory. There are 18 chapters in the Bhagavad Gita. There were 18 warriors after the war that got saved, and it's like 18, 18, 18, 18. It means victory. And Tesla knew the magic of numbers. I don't. I'm not a physicist. I'm not a scientist. But even as a child, I used to feel that each one of us had a certain amount of numbers in our atomic field, our energy field. So some have more, some have less, and it's nothing to do with size. It's to do with frequency. It's to do with your energy fields. And of course, it's very simple. You walk into a room full of, you give love, you'll get love. Walk into a room where everybody is, you kind of collapse. You feel empowered when you transcend the pain or the nastiness or the evil or the darkness or the negativity without judging them. You transcend it. You just go over it. And then you're like, I did it. Who did it for me? Then you know there is a divine power. You know, because I couldn't do it. My personality couldn't do it. In the past, when anybody would even say, even my poor husband, when he got married to me I was 20, and when he would say, oh, Nellie did that, boo, blah, 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 cry, you know. So who did it for me? So your practices, my practices, made me strong. Okay, so your practices, and we're just the same people, will make you strong. The difference is I was determined to find God and peace in this life. Are you determined? Because you don't have much time, guys. Be determined. In other words, be determined. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. And this is really new beginnings, because when you, and it really, really does require a lot of willpower, you know. But remember, it's difficult but not impossible. Not impossible. Things will just start to work for you when you raise your energy field. They will. Don't be afraid. Things do go wrong, but they will always go wrong in your life. So you must transcend it. Don't be afraid that, I'm working so hard and tomorrow something could go wrong. It will, and you'll get over it. You'll do it. You'll do it. You will do it. I can guarantee you that. And I can always guarantee you things will go wrong. And I will also guarantee you that things will go really well too. And it's just life. And that was my mantra. It's life. Love them anyway. Love them anyway. They're crazy. Love them anyway, but don't be in their energy field. But admit, certain people are not that nice. What can we do? What can we do? We can't change them, so don't be in their energy field. Walk away and make your life nice. So we talked about using your words, which is, it's more powerful, because the mind is difficult to get to sometimes, and your actions. Because when you do actions with love, then the mind likes it, because, you know, and you bring lovely things like chocolates and food and oranges and a bottle of wine, and then you go, how much love people have. And then when you feel the love, it's not the things, it's the love that goes into the things that you feel. It's the love. And those actions of love, the more you do, the more it comes back to your own heart, you know. It really is, it is really regenerating. It is regenerating. That's why our weakest moments are when people hurt us so much, right? And if we can transcend that, to notice those weak moments, to notice what triggers them, and try and be prepared. When I knew I was in for something very painful to happen, like a death, or when my father or my sister was, somebody hurt my sister a lot, or if I was hurt, what I would do prior to that situation, if I knew something was going to happen, is I would visualize in my head that before I got there, when I got there, that everybody would start to heal. I would see that, not because of me, but because of the energy of love. And I was an instrument, like we all are, okay? We all are. Nobody's different. Like I said, we all have this. And so, and I would see everybody well. They would be well. And I would bless and pray for them to be well. Not feel sorry for them, okay? Because that's a negative feeling. But see them well, see them laughing, see them maybe crying. And then I'm seeing myself, yeah, you'll pass. Give them a big hug. I'm so sorry, you're in so much pain. And then see them get through it. And it always worked. They get through it. Even if it's for that day, they get through it for that day. You know? So the power that we've been given by the divine is quite phenomenal when we work at that frequency of love. And that's what Lord Jesus did. He worked at that frequency of love. That's what our Gurudev did. He worked at that frequency of love. Now, and he's gone, and how many people have benefited by the teachings? He's not even in this, many people have even met him, but all over the world there are great teachers teaching what he taught us. You know? So this is what we need to perpetuate in our life, to carry on this goodness and to carry on this love. Because in the world of spirituality today, I hate to say, is, you know, you turn on the internet and it's all about how many thousands you can make at the end of the month, you know? Or, you know, it's all about that. And it's selling something. They give you something really nice. Oh, press this video. They give you a whole spiel, and then it's to sell something. So if it's so good, you really want to help someone, and it's natural, why can't you just tell them put lemon in water or whatever it is, put a bit of turmeric in milk, but all this, and at the end is, do you want to buy these turmeric pills? Oh. That's true. I looked at one and I said, never again. What a waste of 45 minutes, you know, of my time. Because you wonder the sincerity of it. If it's so good, share it, right? Share it right away. Why don't we share? Share it right away. You know, so, and then whatever you need will come to you. Whatever you need, whatever is lacking in your life will just automatically come. It's not your every greed, but your every need will come to you. And this is what, never forget that. Never forget that. Keep repeating to yourself, I am abundant. That changed the thought. You're not lacking, are you? Can you all say it with me? I am abundant in every way.
I am abundant in every way.
I'm so full of love.
I'm so full of love.
Nikola Tesla said you have to say it 3 times before it's effective. I am so abundant and I am so full of love.
I am so abundant. I am so full of love.
Yeah, and you feel the energy. You liked it. You made Les laugh with the force. See, when you laugh and smile, everybody is smiling with you, right? Cry and you cry alone. You know, that's why, isn't it true? People feel sorry for you for 1 or 2 days and then they'll go, oh, just get me out of the way, right? Don't want to know you anymore. So, yeah. And smile. Really know that song? Smile, though your heart is breaking. Smile. I don't know the words. They're laughing there too with us. I don't know the words. But smile, smile, smile. Because also, I talked about words, changing the mind, expressions. Because when you use the muscles of your face, you use your muscles of your face, the muscles register in your brain. You know, we're really like a computer, right? Our body's like a computer. You know, it's, you know, you take food, You excrete food, don't you? You know, drink water, you perspire. It's like it's like a machine. So when you smile, when you do these gestures, there are lots of gestures that I've learned over the last 30 years that can make people uplifted, you know. And one of the gestures really is yes. So Les and him would go around the house all day long. They did something, made tea well, yes. And it was such a positive strength in the house, you know. And I thought, wow, just that one movement, yes. And it empowers you, right? Because the muscles send the message to your brain. And this is why we do Hatha Yoga and asanas, right? Because as Dr. Mala says, you get dose after a yoga class, which is you get dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins in your body if you do an integral yoga class, Hatha class. And it's absolutely true because you're using the body. And of course, I love to do my Hatha class with hundreds of affirmations. I'm not afraid. Every Tuesday, I am strong. And they become strong because we're a class of older people. And everybody's becoming stronger. It's really quite nice, you know, because as you think. But then you see, once you leave a place of like vibrant energy, because this is now, we're all talking at the same frequency, so everybody can understand. But then you go out there, right? And it's all the all the noise. So what happens? It's like if you allow it, it's stolen from you. The energies, because you allow it. It's nobody's fault. You allow it. And that's again a big thing to say, I'm allowing it. Big thing, I'm allowing it. And that's hard because it's really hard to face that negativity and blame yourself. It's not even blame, it's taking responsibility. It's a hard one to do. I allowed it. It's nobody's fault. I allowed it. And that was another mantra that helped me a lot during my growth. I allowed for somebody to treat me badly because I didn't stand up for myself. I allowed it. Can I blame them? Can I blame them? I wasn't strong enough. I was too worried about what people would say or think. So I wasn't strong enough to be me. It's not their fault. They just came to show me that I can't allow this with love. Not with anger, with love. With, you know what, this happened. I've learned so much and now I want a new beginning. It's a new day. I want a new beginning. And never be afraid that today you maybe feel really good and tomorrow you feel rotten again, because it does take time. Please understand this. That's why so many people come to me, Nalanie, I've been doing positive affirmations for 1 year and still not good, or I've been doing this for so long. It's because it does take time. You have to understand, and I have to make them see from where they started to where they've achieved, they've actually gone a long way. Sometimes people can't see themselves. Oh my God, I really have progressed. And that's what we can do as friends. And that's what we can do as a Sangha, is help people around us when they get down to realize, no, the truth is you've come a long way. It's just you can't see yourself. And of course, sometimes when you come a long way, the tests become a little harder. Because this is our mission, to eventually control all the hardships, right? Not control, you can't control, but transcend or forgive. And this was the great lesson of Jesus on the cross. Forgive them. They know not what they do. And this is the highest form of freedom and the hardest one to achieve. And this is why Sri Patanjali tells us there's 2 things you have to do with your life if you want that peace. practice. The whole book is about practice. And non-attachment. Non-attachment, you cannot force. It takes time. Time. And time is the one that as you realize that everything's happened to you like this matrix because of karma from the past or past lives, and it just had to come back to you, and rather than create a new set of karmas, you have decided that you're not going to perpetuate that karma anymore. You're going to break that cycle. That's when you become spiritual. That's already the start of the spiritual journey. That's already, when you decide, I'm not going to carry on that cycle of complain, I'm just not. And then every time you hear it, doesn't mean you suppress. No, you don't encourage. Suppression is not good for you. You face it. This is how I feel. I'm really not feeling good with this. And you can tap your heart like this. I'm really not feeling good with this. I accept that I'm not really feeling good with this, but I know with my practice and in my time, I will be able to transcend this and accept pain for purification. And how do I do this? I will read lovely things to make my mind elevate. Lovely stories. This helped. It helped me a lot, stories. I used to love the story. And I remember this story that Gurudev used to tell. It's about the elephant. The ministers had to take a big elephant to the river every day to get it to drink some water. But the elephant used to be so rough and used to move from side to side, and there would be so many men trying to get the elephant down to the water. But a little boy would come along and he would talk to the elephant. The elephant would listen to the little boy. So the minister went back to the king and told the king this. And the king said, but what does that boy have that the elephant listens to it and allows it to go in the water when all my men and my ministers can't do it? So the minister thought about it and he said, I think he has no fear. This boy has no fear. Oh, let's test your theory. So the boy came from not a very wealthy family. He was living with his grandmother, actually. So they went to the grandmother and they told the grandmother, today when your grandson comes, please tell him, don't put any salt in the food. And if he asks why, say we can't afford the salt. Something like that. So the boy came skipping home, very happy, and at the food, Granny, there's no salt in the food. Why? Oh, because we really can't afford the salt. So he was worried about his grandmother. Couldn't afford the salt. So that day, with this worry in his mind, he went down, as he always does, to get the elephant to go to the river. And he couldn't. He couldn't do it because the elephant could sense the fear in this boy's mind. So be careful. Also, when people put fearful thoughts in your mind, they like to scare us. The news is one. It likes, news. I know more good news than bad news, don't you? And yet when you turn on the news, you only see bad news. I remember many years ago, I had an ITV producer come to Gibraltar many years ago. I think it was 1995. And he wanted to film me for ITV to do a Hatha yoga class. So I did the class and I remember sitting with him and saying, please, can you change? Because even then, all news was bad news, except for separate programs. But I said, why don't you please, as a reporter, please could you also have good news? Balance it. You got bad news, your stock market when everybody's gone bust, so many suicides. Good news, how many good deeds were done, how many people were fed, and how much was... Balance it. Balance it. Oh, Nalanie, I've been trying to speak to the directors. They don't want good news. It doesn't sell. So sad, right? So sad. And it's still today. And you think we're in 2023 this year, and good news doesn't sell. And there are good news channels, but nobody wants to watch them. It's interesting, right? So we really have to change the education of our mind, where we like drama. Everything's so dramatic. And this is the new beginning. I like peace. What do you want for 2023, guys? What do you want? Peace, yeah. I want peace. I want joy. I want also adventure, because as human beings we should have adventure, inspiration, creativity. That's what we're here to do. Inspire each other, create new things. This is the God of love. It creates, it has adventure, it makes pretty things, it cooks, it cleans, it does things on the computer that are truthful and that can help the world. There's so much we can do in this human life. There's so much to learn. And for each of us as yogis, they talk about non-attachment, and they really confuse people, because if they think non-attachment means you can't enjoy yourself. Oh, what a sad thought. Non-attachment is precisely that. You enjoy every moment, because it may not last. That's non-attachment. But enjoy in a holy way, practicing the yamas and niyamas, not wanting to cause any harm to anyone, some benefit to someone, yourself included. So no extremes, all balanced and nice, and have fun. We were born to enjoy life. We were born to enjoy life. And remember that is our birthright. So laugh more. That's good for your muscles. Laugh more. Also good for pranayama when you laugh. You're doing pranayama, right? Good, laugh more. And I must tell you a story. Once when I was in Hong Kong, and somebody asked me, because I was talking about Gurudev in Bali, because he went from Bali to Singapore to Hong Kong, and he asked me to prepare everything before he got there. So when he got to Hong Kong, I was telling people, I was there before him, I was telling people, oh, Gurudev did a laughing meditation with us in Bali, and we were like, couldn't stop laughing, right? So my aunt said, oh, Nalanie, can you tell Gurudev to do a laughing meditation for us in our temple at home? We have a temple in my home in Hong Kong. So, sure. So I spoke to Gurudev. They all want a laughing meditation. So all my family gathered at the temple, and he just started doing pranayama. Everybody looking at him. And then everybody started laughing, because many of them hadn't done pranayama. They weren't yogis. They were just religious people. And then they start laughing. What is he doing? What is he doing? And then we all burst out laughing. He was, see, when you laugh, what are you doing? The same as me. Same as me. I said, do pranayama. You're doing the same as me. I didn't need to do it. You did it. I just did the pranayama. So I remember it was such fun. So when you laugh, you do a lot of pranayama. So it's good for you. Laugh more. And the cells like it. The atoms in our body like it. And that's basically on new beginnings for the new year.